Welcome to the Collaborative June Area Training. My name is Cody Brockmeyer. How much do you know about the basics of what we do as a team? What do you know about NAS or NASDA? In this presentation, we will be covering some basic and general information to get you ready for this year's challenging, exciting June Area Survey. We will also cover why operators should respond and how the June Area Survey fits into the programs and surveys that we conduct and the estimates we publish. The presentations that follow will dive into the details of the June Area Survey. Thank you for watching. As always, good luck. This training should be charged to Project Code 124. Let's get started. To begin, let's talk about the mission statement. Our mission is to provide timely, accurate, and useful statistics in service of U.S. agriculture. What does timely mean? As you can see, timely means we provide unbiased statistics on a pre-announced scheduled date so that all commodity market participants can be aware of the information that is coming. It also needs to be timely as mandated by lawmakers. The ag yield example given is why we often have very short turnaround times during our data collection windows. Moving on to another key word in our mission statement, accurate. This word has several meanings, but one of the keys to accuracy is unbiased and systematic or repeatable estimates. Accuracy can only be gained by using strong survey methodology to produce data from our confidential sources. I think everyone can understand what useful means, but without timeliness and accuracy, NAS data aren't very useful. The numbers we provide and the data you collect must benefit everyone in the agricultural industry and beyond. NAS employees are the fact finders of American agriculture. This slide illustrates our organizational structure as of today. As you can see, along with our headquarters in Washington, D.C., we have 12 regional field offices, our RFOs, along with a national operations division in St. Louis and 4 call center locations. NAS is tasked with surveying farm operators by mail, internet, telephone, and when we can, face-to-face or personal interviews. We then summarize the data and set estimates for publication. We use statistical methodology to account for all of the producers we don't contact in a survey. None of our summarized estimates we produce for publication can be held private. Even those estimates we complete for others on a contract basis. Everything we produce is mandated to be released to the public. Keep in mind, this does not include, nor can it include, any individual operation or operator's information. We use several internal rules to keep an individual operation or operator's data from being published are determined based on the other data published. NAS produces well over 500 agricultural statistic reports each year. Every 5 years, we complete the Census of Agriculture. What we are not. This slide illustrates that we are not political appointees and only serve the public in providing data. How that data is interpreted is left up to the consuming public. NAS takes confidentiality extremely seriously. It is a top priority within the agency. Without confidentiality, no one would trust in reporting their data to us. Confidentiality must be held in high regard. This means keeping all private information on the operator and operations safe and secure. NAS even takes another safety measure to only let those who need to know see internal numbers and operator data. This allows us to maintain an active approach in protecting confidentiality. Here we highlight the measures we all take to protect the information and consequences of not taking our commitment to confidentiality seriously. We cannot discuss data with anyone inside or outside of the agency who has not signed a confidentiality certificate. Doing so will come at a high cost. Please never talk about individual operators or operations with anyone outside of NAS or NASDA. We must make sure we do all we can to protect the information. Not doing so results in criminal charges and comes with a heavy fine. Please make sure you read the Statement of Confidentiality on the front page of the AgTrack questionnaire. It highlights the potential for jail times and fines. If or when we do need to speak to someone over the phone or email about an individual operation or operations, we only use the 9-digit POID along with the state FIPS as the reference numbers. This will keep all of the operation or operator's information private and secure from a potential personal identifiable information data breach. We cannot emphasize this enough. If you happen to have issues with keeping PII secure, several really bad things could happen. Let's do our part to not explore any of those things. Loss of your job and breaking the law are not something we want to happen to anyone. We must protect PII, our personal identifiable information. Some may treat trust and respect as commonplace. Being trustful and respectful are great personality traits. However, they will affect your ability to get completed reports in future visits. Most of our surveys are voluntary, and we must develop a working relationship with our respondents. More than likely, you will be reaching out to producers again, and having a credible working relationship will be key to their success in the long run. As an enumerator, you work for the National Association of State Departments of Agriculture, or NASDA. NAS contracts with NASDA to be the public face and voice in our combined efforts in the data collection process. You help us create key partnerships with industry and farming leaders around the country. NASDA and NAS have been working together for many years. Your role in the partnership is to keep the success in promoting agriculture moving forward while collecting information that will protect the safety of the food we eat. As an enumerator, you help us measure the success or issues within the agricultural industry. We need your help to continue to promote U.S. agriculture and keep our food supply safe. As you can see, there are roles of each group and how the partnership operates. NAS determines what services are needed, how and when they are delivered, and whether or not the service is acceptable. NASDA, in turn, provides those services. You are very important. It can't be stated enough. You are the key to our combined success. Without you gaining and keeping a positive working relationship with respondents, we cannot produce the data needed to keep everyone informed on what is happening in the agricultural industry. Together, we will continue to produce publications on time, error-free, and as accurate as possible. We must continue to operate as a team. This includes continuous and honest communication at every step in the process. Please make sure to relay what you are seeing and how things are going throughout the data collection timeframe. Keeping information moving to and from everyone helps us head off possible issues later. The why. In order to provide the needed numbers to set policy and have a sound understanding of the nation's food supply, NAS has been tasked to create a way to cost-effectively publish information on agricultural statistics. The most effective way in doing so is to set up a statistically defensible sample of operators and then expand on the data that is collected during data collection. The data you collect on our surveys is used to set district, state, and national level agricultural estimates. This is a much more cost-effective way to determine the amount of production taking place on commodities in question compared to asking every known operator. What is the name of the survey in which we do actually try to speak to every known operator? That's right, the census. Survey budgets determine the number of operators we can sample and try to contact. I'm guessing you can figure out the survey with the largest data collection budget. Yep, that would again be the census. Why should a producer report? There are several reasons, like when and what to plant based on market conditions and forecasted supply. Some operators will say they never use the data. This may be true, but how many people who interact with the operator do use the data? Marketers, bankers, and farm management firms use this data to rely back to farmers the actions they should take to make a profit and stay in business. Also, the data can be used to determine issues like if the number of cattle to go into a feedlot should be reduced, or if the dairy should consider expanding. Will the market support a move in the business model of the farm? Our data is used to answer the type of questions just like the ones I just asked. You may hear this said, no one uses the data. However, farmers, ranchers, agribusinesses, and processors use the data to keep the industry moving forward and the correct amount of production in the food supply chain. The information is also used by operators to determine when to sell and when to store commodities. Many downstream businesses use the data to determine where shipping supplies or equipment are needed, should there be a bumper crop in certain areas or a complete loss due to weather-related issues. Distributors need to be ready to accept the harvested crop so they can quickly move food products safely from farms to markets around the world. Here we illustrate how government agencies and media outlets rely on the data you collect. Without good data, poor policy and media stories could distort the truth about agriculture. Our data has been used to correct misinformation and correct policy proposals from those who would like to harm or see the industry change drastically. Many times, our numbers show producers are doing all they can to protect the land and animals while keeping us fed and warm. All of our 500 plus reports are located at www.nass.usda.gov. Please note anyone can go online and sign up to have the reports of interest emailed automatically each time a new one is released. Now let's change gears and talk a little bit about what type of surveys we collect and where the June area survey lies within our survey work. As you can see, the census is collected every 5 years and is required by law. This is a major project in which we attempt to give every single producer the opportunity to respond. List surveys are what you would think. We sample a group of respondents from a list of known operators we keep by type of operation and size. As noted, our list of operators is never complete and always needing updates. Most of our yearly surveys are pulled from the list, with a few operations coming from the area survey. The area survey is a land-based survey of all land within the U.S. Since we have a defined amount of land, we can say the area frame is complete. However, the land used is always changing based on population growth, urban sprawl, and other forces changing the land from ag land to non-ag land. We use the area survey to find out who is operating the land within the drawn-off segments on the large aerial photo. By looking at defined land areas, we can take the data collected and compare those findings to our list of known operators. We do this to determine the completeness of our list of operators. If we find issues, we work to find out why we are missing producers in certain geographic areas or commodity industries. We also use the area frame to find locations of commodities for our objective yield program, where we set up sample plots to measure plant development and take actual measurements and counts of certain crops. The June area survey is quite complex. As you can see, we are tasked with finding the segment, finding out who operates inside the boundary and give them a tract letter, finding out if each tract is agriculture, and account for all ag and land within the segment. Now, we all know there are a lot more details than this, but I wanted to highlight the major tasks you will need to complete and the information coming in presentations to follow. Thanks for watching. And as always, good luck and please remember to stay safe.